Hello, welcome back to Sandy Hahn podcast. This is episode 45. 45. And this is called The Mass. And we're going to get into why that is very shortly. So a couple things before we get started. Again, I'm going to keep talking up the golf tournament we're going to do this summer, Monday, July 17th at Lurie Country Club. Got that all worked out. We're going to really start doing some cool things for that. It's going to be a fun event. And then there's going to be some other events too. And the funny thing was, we were planning this, and one of the things it was going to be for was to get a wheelchair, like a really pimped out wheelchair. I had talked about that in some previous ones, and we were already planning on that. And probably still going to get it. It's just going to be fun, and I need it for crowds, just so people get them all the way. Because if my balance is still off, so if I get hit, I'll fall over. But I feel fucking fantastic, and I'm moving around better, working out, getting stronger, doing more, and again, still struggling physically. I have a long way to go. Still have some shakes, but boy, I feel mentally, emotionally better than I have in a long, long time, and I really feel like I can live a long time. When not too long ago, I thought this last Christmas was going to might be my last one. That's how bad I was feeling, how things have changed so much. So I'm really looking forward to going. I'm going to do a ton of these. More of these episodes. I've got a lot of them already planned, working on. Some of the people will come on, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's just jump in. I've known these guys most of my life, and we're going to get into some pretty funny stories. And so I will start. I will just introduce them, let them say a few words about where they're at, because I know there's a lot of people watching who are probably interested in where you're at and what's going on. So it's Sean O'Reilly, Mike Atkinson, and Cecil Yates. So Shawnee, why don't you start off?
I'm right here. We go back to about third grade together. Is that when you guys moved? Something like that.
Yeah, we moved to Glenview.
Yeah,
from Normandy.
Right. And Sandy's the guy who fell off the spider and broke something, which was not uncommon for Sandy, if you know him, right? Breaking stuff. So.
My ankle.
Yeah. So.
That's right. I remember that. I landed right in my face.
Yeah. Who's the new guy? He's the guy who fell off the spider. Broke something.
And I got a lot of gifts for that too. Girls are coming over, bringing me treats and.
What's happening with you?
Doesn't it? Cast.
Yeah. Nice work. Well done. Yeah. That's all I got.
Well, what's your Shawnee's in Bay Village?
Mm-hmm.
How long have you and Laura been married?
Only been married for legally 23 years, I think it's going to be. We've been together for 37 next month. You want another Bay Village thing?
Yeah.
I've lived in Bay Village for 50 years next week. So there. Oh, wow. And I never left.
That's right.
Nothing weird about that.
So you went from Dwight?
Yeah.
Was that the first one?
Canterbury, Bassett, Sadler.
Wow.
Can't kick me out. Not yet.
That's amazing.
Michael will find me some real estate in Avon Lake, though, or something.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, Michael, what's going on with you lately?
I'm still same old.
Michael's a longer Bay boy than Sean, aren't you?
Also Bay Village. Grew up in Bay Village, live there now. Met you back in high school, during our high school years. So we've been probably since right around 16, 17. So coming up on about 40 years now, Sandy.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then we have Cecil Yates, who's on the Zoom call from Arizona.
Beautiful. Well, I'm in Scottsdale now where my office is, but I live in beautiful Fountain Hills, Arizona. I've been here, 18 years now. That's hard to believe.
That's been that long?
Yeah, crazy.
Wow.
Got run out,
But a
run
little
out of
thing
Cleveland?
I'm sorry.
Were you run out of Cleveland, Cease, or?
Well, that's part of how I had to change my name in the witness protection program, but we'll get into that. But Sean, the spider story, I was with Sandy when he fell off that spider and helped walk him to the ambulance.
Ah,
And I'm like, dude, what's wrong with you? He's like, man, I can't walk. He didn't say can't walk. He used a adjective in front of that.
way to go,
Even in third
grader.
grade.
Cussing in third
Was
grade.
was I swearing in third grade?
Yeah, you were. You had older brothers. Are you kidding me? You knew all the bad ones.
We learned the stuff from you, Sandy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Steven.
I've not been a very good influence over the years.
Not your fault.
So we'll get back into the stories. Will start flowing, but just to, it was always me, Sean. Well, it was Andy back then. Now it's Cecil.
Again, that's part of that witness protection
Changing
stuff.
names.
And
I
Mike
kept getting in
Mutler-
trouble with you guys. I had to change my name.
Well, it can still be the mask now because now it's Mike
Right.
Atkinson.
We got a new mic.
Before it was Mike Mudler,
Yeah.
which and we were just always together. And Andy wanted to call it. Now it's hard. It was hard to call you Cecil. Now it's hard to call you Andy.
Right.
Because I'm really used to calling Cecil.
Who, Sean? It was your dad who came up with the Sands.
I think
it was
so.
Mr.
Picking us up from
O'Reilly who
bowling.
called us.
Was it
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't.
It was the bowling team. We had this bowling. We all had our own balls,
Yeah.
our own
Like-
names on them, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
We bowl
Well,
on
we would-
Mondays or something.
Yeah,
Mhm.
at Glenview, and you put the initials right down, and it formed Sands.
My dad was calling us the Sams, and then
That's
Sandy
great.
never liked the way Sam.
I didn't
said it.
like that. So I
I think it would be the Mass.
Mass.
The Mass.
I thought that was much cooler.
Sandy, Andy, Mike, and Sean.
That was wow. And we did everything together. And boy, again the story. I'm already starting to think of stories that we were talking before. It's like, well, there's certain stories we can tell and ones we probably shouldn't. But boy, it's been amazing time. So one of the cool story I was thinking about, they were talking about, when people had their first kiss and stuff. You know where I'm going with that.
No names,
And,
please.
and
All right.
I'm naming names.
no, I won't name the names. But she said there are two girls who
I've been on this.
we
No.
know who've been on the podcast, and me and Sean. But remember, you had it was November
6th.
6th.
Oh, you know the
Was that
exact
memorable?
date.
We were
It's written down. Big deal.
4th grade, I think,
Third, fourth, something like that.
and we were making out in the bushes behind his house, and we were switching girlfriends. So we make up with a girl, and we I mean, this was 3rd, 4th grade. We were.
Did you name names? Who was it? Sean, I
Oh,
semi
Sandy said, "Don't name
It
names."
was just kissing.
On account
We're
of
not allowed
our
to name
attorney,
names?
we've been suggested that we not
Right.
answer
I'll,
that.
I'll
question.
just say that they were on. They were both on the podcast. So
All right.
I'll let you.
I'm proud of you for not naming names. That's awesome.
It's hard.
This thing isn't over yet.
Yeah, that's true.
You
And
guys
that-
did that right through high school.
Swap
'Cause-
girls?
Yes, because I remember every once in a while, we didn't go. Shawnee and I end up at Ignatius and stuff, and I'm like, we'll end up at a Bay party, and I'm like, wait a minute, wasn't Sandy just? And now Cecil's with, and it was just a musical chairs arrangement for 4 years in high school.
It did.
Well-
That did happen a lot. And
I think the girls were just swapping us around.
well, I remember we used to we all go and sleep over at Aunt Cecil's house. I have a tent in the backyard. Right next to his house was Janet Rowden. You'd have a tent.
You'd have a
sleep
bunch
over.
of people
There'd
sleep
be like 10, 15 guys and girls, and then we'd just
Sleeping out, hanging out in the tents.
and we would play that game with a
Spud.
ball. And
Spud.
the ball you had to go make out.
Some sort of spin.
It was
Yep.
it was crazy, and it happened.
What do you think that is? 5th grade? What's your best guess? Eighth?
Oh, at
Seventh,
least
eighth?
it was still Glenview.
Yeah.
I remember we were doing that once in drinking, so maybe we were past 5th
It
grade.
might have been a little middle school.
But maybe not that much past.
I could be mistaken.
Oh, that was crazy. Yeah, one of the
Somebody bought us 3-2 beer. I remember that.
and we were always just walking over each other's house, occasionally riding bikes. But I remember one time, I'll never forget this. Me and Sean, we were gonna walk from his house to my house. It was very snowy, and we decided instead what we were calling skeeching, where a car would drive by and you come up and get hook onto the back bumper and just let it pull you through the snow.
Roads are covered in snow.
Roads are covered.
Yeah, you just hang on the back of the car and on your feet just slide along like you're skiing.
And we made it over, to my house.
2 miles away.
And then Sean decided he was going to try and do it to go back home. Right in front of my house, he hooked onto a car, and then he fell, and his gloves stuck in the back bumper. And the car drove away, and he's...
So it gets slightly worse. So I had cut my hand, and so I had stitches on my one hand. So I had 2 different gloves on. One, this was a really big glove on this hand, my regular glove here. So I ruined 2 pairs of gloves that day. My mom's like, "Where are those new gloves I just got you?" I lost them. Yeah, that was a problem.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy. And then even up to so anyone talked to Michael Murphy
No.
recently? I've seen things on Facebook.
I
I
got
think he's
nothing.
in Atlanta.
I have no idea.
Nothing.
But I've
Yeah, we're Facebook friends. I see him for his birthday or anniversary, but I don't know if it's Atlanta. I can look him up real quick.
somewhere. I think it was in Georgia. But I haven't really talked to him. But he was. And what year did he move away?
Well, he moved away and came back.
He did.
I don't remember him
Yeah.
coming back.
I don't remember him coming back.
It was sometime, I want to say, in middle school when he left, or maybe just before high school, because they built that house over on Salem. And I don't even know if they moved into it. Maybe they did briefly, and then Dando's bought it. So that's all I got.
Yeah, he went to both Bay High School and Hudson High School, so he moved to the east side. And yeah, he lives in Georgia right now.
So he was the original M in the Sam's for the Mass.
We don't think less of you, though, Michael.
But
See you in a
then,
second.
Always thrown out of the group.
and then met Mike. Well, Shawnee started when he went to Ignatius with Michael. My mom wanted me to go there, but I stayed and went to Bay. And I had met Michael occasionally, and then we sort of the Mass again after college, really.
Party Palace.
I think. Oh my Lord! We used to go play volleyball all the time. Michael, were you living at
Hunter's Chase.
Hunter's Chase, yeah.
Chase?
Yeah. We didn't have any money, so we had to. Right. This was back with the Yates and Hahn Building Company. When you
Yes,
guys
we
first
did.
started
Oh
your
yeah,
first house reno in Parma, right?
Yes.
yeah, that's
It
right.
was like right out of college.
What? Velma?
Oh wow, Sandy, that's awesome.
Oh,
We bought it for like 40 and sold it for 60 and probably put 18 in it. We were high fiving. We made $2,000.
Yeah.
Right. Those are the years
It was right down the street from Mr. Chicken
Yeah.
in Parma. We had this lady, a realtor. She talked fairly funny. We were always making fun of her, and she had like a tooth that kind of
Snaggle tooth.
We were just always making fun of people. It was pretty bad, but she's the one who sold us that house. And I think the only other one we did was in
That duplex in Lakewood. That was a good one.
that one made some money.
made 2,500 or something.
No, we actually made like $20,000. We bought it for like $29,900 and put like 10 or 15 into it and sold it for 60 or 65. I'm sure today it's worth 250, 300.
That was a
Michael,
good deal. And we did. Remember who? Jim Doyle's brother. I can't remember.
Tim?
Dave Doyle.
Dave Doyle.
Yeah.
taught us. I mean, right now I couldn't do a damn thing just because I can't as far as building, but he showed us really how to redo the inside of a house from
Yeah, a lot of the trades, especially drywall.
we did drywall, we put in kitchen furniture. I mean, we did pretty good stuff. Now
At
again,
least your memory says you did some
Yeah,
pretty good
but-
stuff, right?
well, we did, and then but that's about all that lasted there, and then I've never really done much since. then.
Yeah.
But then, well, I had Timmy Atkinson on, the one that came out last week with some of the other guys in Bay, Pete Powers, Tom Kurgi, and he was. I think we were talking about the Party Palace days. So basically, what that ended up being, we had it's a house on Lake Road in Bay. My parents would go to. They lived in Florida, and
Didn't they live in Switzerland at the time? I thought they were living abroad.
no, that was they were gone a lot.
Yeah. We didn't know where they were.
They were they were in Florida. They would go to Florida for the winter, a lot of the winter, and this is right after. Hold on, there's my wife talking on the phone, working. We're live, so they were in. I lost my train.
Florida.
They were in Florida.
Party Palace.
So
right?
we're basically after college, we're all kind of getting started, and so I was living there with Mary Beth before we got married, and so we were the only ones there, and everyone basically would come over on the weekends. Shawnee, you were bartending.
Yeah, he's always working.
At
I only made it there a couple of times.
Right, Houlihan.
I'd like to question whether it was
Seriously?
always
Yeah.
the weekends. Was it always the weekends, Michael?
Yeah, it was like Friday or Saturday.
It was Thursday night was a big night. We'd play Hunter's Chase volleyball, go do wings at around the corner,
Yeah,
and then wind up at Sandy's. And we'd just look at each other and Party Palace, Party Palace, Party Palace.
well, we would go out for a little bit, but we didn't have a ton of money, so
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Right.
Well, that's why around the corner, Michael, was 10-cent wing night. That's why. I got how much? I got $3.
yeah.
we go places
That's
that
right.
had deals, and then we just get booze and come back to my house.
Yeah, we would
'cause
buy
there was-
tons of beer.
there was nobody there except me, and
No
we, and then we
supervision.
would. A lot of times they would sleep over on the couch because we would just
Sleep over, pass out, whatever.
so I would keep people up late past their bedtimes a lot, and what we're gonna do you guys have some pictures up there? See, still don't sure. They're gonna have you guys send me some pictures. They were sharing a bunch before, so I'm gonna have see if we can have Tyler sort of flash some of those throughout while it's just playing. It should be interesting. So what was the? So let's get into some other stories here. The one, so what you were talking about, what, us being on the ice or something? I don't remember that. You'll have to get
Again,
back
we
in-
were talking about how skinny we were. I just resent everybody that picture of us in Shanks's basement. We're skin and bones. But the point of it was, obviously, there was no screen time. You would get up in the morning, leave your home, and be gone all day, whether it's winter or whatever, and you'd get into little adventures. And we were down. It was winter time. O'Reilly, you don't remember that? We were walking under in the
I
creek
remember
system.
falling in the ice a lot. I'll say it that way.
All right.
Yeah.
And we kept daring each other to go further and further out until somebody fell through and couldn't get back. And we laid on the ice, and I thought that was pretty cool because I was like, wow, and I don't know who the fuck it was. I'd like to say it was one of you guys, but I don't think it was me. And remember, everything from cliff jumping, we thought that was a blast. And Mr. Buckholz was like, I want to see this cliff diving stuff. And so he came out with us one time and he's, holy, what the hell? It was whatever, 60 feet, 40 feet.
Well,
And
I never did that.
it was right behind Castle Mara too, Sandy, which is another reason, another site of a crime when we broke and entered Castle Mara and went swimming.
Well, I was
And
not
we
there
got
for that.
caught
I know
by-
that story. I
got-
wasn't there.
Caught by one of your neighbors, and of course we threw you under the bus. Oh, Sandy Hahn lives here. He gave us the code.
Wow.
We had to
This
go
has
to
got to
court
go
for
back.
that one.
Before my
Well,
time.
that was
Oh, man.
high school.
Yeah.
That's cool.
When so I wasn't there, right? But you
No, it's Bay Village. You're always there. You know what I mean?
well, yeah, I got in a lot of trouble in there, and that pool we would constantly. The first time me and my brother Steve went, the rope that divides the shallow end from the deep end. We unhooked that and threw it over the rafter above it, and we're swinging. Got jumped on
Nice.
like a window and just swinging out and doing flips and nailed. One of the ladies came up and was standing at the window, looking at us, nodding her head, and she reported us. So we many nights in there of lots of trouble. But again, that was at that place. That was my senior year in high school, and again in the wintertime, my parents were
MIA.
away a lot, and I would have lots of people over many times. That was some crazy stuff.
Remember cruising around there one time when it was, I don't know if it's junior year or senior year, when it was minus 22 degrees out? Some big cold freeze and everything's covered in ice.
Where?
At the house at Castle Mara.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about all the memory I got on this thing.
that
A bunch of us, and it was like some incredibly freezing day, and that's not the wind chill. That was what the temperature was. So,
was crazy.
Yeah.
And then we were just talking about the other night was somebody's trying to figure out the powerhouse, and what's even down there now? I mean, Cecil used to, what was it?
No
what was the
idea.
place called
I
again?
think the improv still there.
Yeah.
Power Play.
Power Play at Nautica, and then Club 1148, which is across the parking lot there. But yeah, all of us, it was brand new. The revitalization of the flats. Are you kidding me? Yeah, the 80s and the 90s. That was crazy.
I remember
We all
going
went
down
down there together, or very. I mean, Michael, you and I, for at least 2 or 3 summers, did some stuff. I mean, O'Reilly was always working.
Although one
Right.
Friday, Yates, you and I went down. I was off for some unusual reason. You and I went down. This is before you worked there. And we parked the car in a no parking zone. And I think I recall looking at you and going, is that a good idea? And it might have been 4 o'clock or something on a Friday or 3:30. Yeah, we'll
Did
be
it
okay.
get towed?
Yeah, it got towed. Yeah.
Yeah,
You and I ended up at the impound lot, had to go get your dad. It was, whatever. $1 million
Yeah,
to get the car out. Yeah.
I got towed at Ohio State multiple times. That's why I'm like,
You always get a good spot, though, don't you?
yes, you do.
Car isn't there when you come back.
No.
Well, getting back in those days, didn't have a lot of money. That's why I would always go down and because Cecil was bartending at the Power Play, and let's just say he was
Put you on the VIP list. Yes, sir.
he was quite generous. And then, did that the only place you worked at? Or did you work at club? What was that? I don't think I really went to that club.
1148. Yeah, Mike Mercer. Mike Mercer was the owner of Power Play and Club 1148. He was partners with Jeff Jacobs on a couple things. He was. I'm still friends with him. We talk periodically, but obviously not home as much. But yeah, he's still in the biz. And we've all. I mean, Michael's. You sold him a house or two, didn't you?
Yes.
As well.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah.
He pops up on Facebook, and he made some sort of comment. It was nice, but when I posted something about me walking, he said something nice. So he's still around.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
what he is doing. But so where else you guys need? I want you to share with your the kids situation. Earlier, I meant to say that when we were introducing, because the ages. I mean, we've been so close throughout the years, but I had apologized to these guys because they've been reaching out to try and get together with me, and I haven't been doing anything because I felt so bad this past year. And Sean would, had that dinner over at recently at his house and kept, inviting me, which is very nice. But
It was Laura's idea, not mine. I said.
I know that guy too well. We don't want him over here.
We'll just tell stupid stories.
yes, a lot of stories, but I literally couldn't make it. I wasn't walking, and so now I feel so damn good that I want to get out more. And so
Sandy, is it medicine? Is it exercise? It's a combination of things.
great question, because I don't think I fully answered that.
No, you didn't.
Because they asked me that too, and I know it's a combination of things. It's sleep is the main one, and because I've been struggling with sleep a long time, and I've had a CPAP, a machine, which I hate because I had sleep apnea horribly, and so I've struggled with that, because then snoring gets real bad, and I kind of wake up like gasping for air. It's it's never fun. And so the CPAP, and I've been taking also with this disease. Sleep there's so many symptoms of this thing. It's crazy. I've had just all from being freezing cold, like literally, and then next thing you know, I'm sweating to death, having trouble going to bed. Nothing works. My body was shutting down, and sleep was horrible. There's nothing worse than being up all night, and you start thinking, and all of a sudden that's when the depression and anxiety kicked in, because I had never had that before. Never had anything to be. I had a pretty good life, pretty good friends. We always had a really good time. And then when things stopped working, I couldn't sleep, so I have the anxiety. And I finally sleep and I wake up and I'm depressed. It was horrible. Thankfully, I'm out of that stage. But the main thing was the sleep, and that's really been 2.5 weeks. And I don't even know how that happened, to be quite honest with you, because it was I was tired of taking different pills and trying to do something. Tired of CPAP. I just laid down, and on my side, if I lay my back, I snore, and I just rested. And that first night, I didn't sleep a ton, but it helped good. And then I did it again, and now every night I just go in. I can feel it. Usually it's 11:30, 12. Always been a night owl, but my breath goes to bed early. I was going, and within a half an hour, I lay down on the side and I'm out. So now, for 2.5 weeks, I have slept like a baby, and it's incredible.
And it's no additional meds, nothing. It's just your
no,
body.
I've actually cut back on some.
That's awesome.
I still take some. Like there's ones. It's like a dopamine, carbidopa, levodopa. It's for Parkinson's, 'cause I still shake a little bit, but it's not nearly bad. Before it was terrible. I couldn't even hold on to stuff. I couldn't write. My speech was getting very slurred. So it's much better. I got a lot of nice comments from people who are watching the podcast saying that well, you're speaking well. Because I am. It's amazing. I still can't really write too well, but because the hands shake. But it's so much better. And then it's the exercise. I have to do it, and I do it every day. I ride the bike for I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour, and I stretch. I do like some yoga stuff, planks and other stuff. And there's one of the next episodes is another workout we did with Tanya, my trainer. She's amazing. And I was actually walking in that one too. I mean, the walking part is again, excuse me. I just didn't. I felt so bad, and it was so difficult to walk, and I was so terrified. I just never thought I was gonna do it again. So now I can. My biggest obstacle now is trying to control myself not to do too much and hurt myself. So I do still get reminded that there's something not right because I don't fall.
When I think of people who are really good at restraint, Sandy, I think of you.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, restraint has not always been my strength. Sean's.
You have lots of wonderful strengths. That
Sean's-
may not be one of them. That's okay.
Yeah, what was my nickname, Sean?
Oh, I don't. Hold one more.
One more. Because we were out. Like, come on, one more.
Can I tell that
That's
story?
a great segment right into my wedding reception.
Please.
All right, here's where he starts to get the one more thing.
One more.
And your incredible saint of a wife, who's not that far away from us at this moment. We're at Herb's one night, and Mary Beth is home pregnant.
Am I there?
You're there. And Sandy does
See,
one of these.
Dan?
Frank's there. Sandy does one of these. All right,
Oh,
get around for everybody. Get me, I need like a grilled cheese to go and some fries and something else that Mary Beth had wanted. She'd called. He said,
Oh,
"Yes,
no.
yes." Okay, great. Well, then there's another drink and there's another drink. And okay, all right. We should just eat these fries and sandwich or whatever, right?
we eat her food.
Okay, get everybody one more drink. Order me that food again, if you would, please, right? And then cash me out. And I think you did that at least 3 times, maybe 4 times. And Mary Beth called once, maybe twice. Also, okay, all right, all right, okay, yeah, well, you'll be here in a bit. Okay, all right. I remember hearing her voice and thinking, why is she so calm? Talk about a good pairing, right? Right people and personalities being married to each other. And, 3 or 4 times we got to eat Mary Beth's dinner, and then finally Sandy did leave and take it to her. And I'm sure it was cold, but this woman's
boy.
a saint. Oh, one
I
more.
vaguely remember that. That's one part I try to forget because that was not very nice to me. But that did happen, and I remember it. But she's been unbelievable, especially even throughout this me getting sick and how this thing was progressing. She's been there for me, and she waits on me. There was a lot of times I didn't get out of bed for days. It was hard. It was difficult to go to the bathroom. I had to crawl in some cases. It was literally that bad, and she would bring me everything to take care of me hand and foot, and that's amazing. But of course, dealing with all these stories that people remind me of stuff I put her throughout.
Oh, I've had more than one person come up to me and say how he is still married is beyond. Like, not every girl would be in for the long haul of Sandman.
Yeah,
And I have to smile a little.
I
And
think she married the right guy and knew who she was
Yeah,
marrying. That's what
absolutely.
I think, right?
absolutely.
that's right. Yeah, well, it's this year's gonna be 30 years.
Wow.
Wow.
In a row,
great.
right?
30 in a row, and we were together even 4 years
A good period before that, right?
before that, probably 4 or 5 years before.
You're looking
that.
at me like I know that.
Oh, yeah.
I vaguely remember it's really been amazing how she's been there for me, and she's, it was very difficult for her when it first, started happening. She could see me. A lot of people could see me, sort of slowly. Things were off, and then, again, there was times where I was trying to take my pills, and I couldn't even open the bottle, or she'd have to put them in my mouth to try and take them. It was that bad. But and to finish up what you said, like what do you think it is? It's been, again, sleep, the working out, big part, and then meditation. I believe in that so much. It started.
You told me this a while ago that you were doing this and it was working really well.
It's truly amazing. It's hard to describe what it's done for me, but I know for a fact, because it was August 2021, a year and a half ago. I was sitting in the kitchen, and my trainer sent me like a short video of Dr. Joe Dispenza, who's a genius, and I looked at it, and I went on his website, and I told this story a few times, but it's so meaningful, and the power of the meditation, because there's transformation stories on his website of people with Parkinson's, with MS, with cancer, dying, like tumors in their brain, tumors all over their body, and then they've given up because they haven't, they basically said there's nothing more we can do. We're done with you, and they tried meditation, and they healed themselves. So when you're given a terminal illness diagnosis and told there's nothing that can be done for you, you start looking for anything. And I was trying all kinds of stuff. I was doing steroids and you name it, dumb stuff. And then to see those stories, and I started bawling and told my God, I need to do this. And so I signed up immediately, went to his first seminar in
Mexico, right?
Yeah, Cancun, December.
Oh, wow.
December of 21. I went again, see him last April in Denver for a follow-up retreat. I planned to go last October to another one, an advanced retreat, but I couldn't. This is when things had gotten so bad where I wasn't even moving till noon or 1 o'clock, and it takes me a couple hours to get going. There's no way I can go to one of these events because they're intense. You have to be there at 7 in the morning, and it goes till usually about 7 o'clock at night. There's a lot of breaks, but it's intense. It's hard to describe, but I will tell you, it's a little different. Frankly, some people are a little odd, but once you get started, and you're kind of like, well, I got nothing to lose. I got nothing else to go to, so you go all in, and then it changes you. So mentally, I've been at this place before, in my meditation, where I would see myself getting better. And this might sound a little weird, but it's I've seen it. I'm living it. I've seen other people on the stage telling the story of where they're done. And now they're up on the stage where they were in a wheelchair. And now they're on the stage talking, saying, I cured myself. I mean, it's real, and I believe that that's the main part, combined with the sleeping and working out. It's really brought me back to life. So now I can get back to getting you guys in trouble, keeping you out late, and going out more, because it's what I've always loved to do, maybe a little too much.
How much time do you think you and Tom Lawrence spent on a big event golf in the basement of BW3?
Oh my Lord.
Could have had a PhD or something in that time, right?
We lived there. It's hard to say how often that was.
You're not just a good golfer, you're a good big event golfer.
Yeah, well, I used to be. Not anymore. There's some other guys who play that game now. They got so good that I stopped playing. Yeah, couldn't play as well as they are. But and then as far as I'm actually in the back of my head, I'm thinking about regular golf. I can actually stand. It's difficult. A lot of times I'm not so off, but that was figure I kind of stand like that. I could actually hit a golf ball. So I feel like I can get back to that. Again, I'm not going to rush it, but they do have these golf carts. Like I actually pitched in the
you sit in it, right?
Yeah. It's kind of like
Swivels.
You swivels and you sort of hook onto it. And there's a guy with ALS at Avon Oaks who I pitched in to get him this golf cart. They have to borrow from him. Try and get out there, but it's really amazing that to feel this way. I didn't think it was gonna happen again, and so I'm just glad to be able to share that with you guys. It's been
dude, it's been amazing. The videos that you were posting about you walking, that inspirational. Aside from us knowing who you are, even what you're going through, the fact that you're walking at 56 years old is incredible.
Yeah, it's nice too, because again, when I first started doing this initially, it was like I kind of liked talking about, I was talking about, it was really meditation that got me going, because that's when I started getting better. Now again, I had a long road. It was very up and down, but that's when it started, and now it's really coming together. And I tell the story of a lot of times there are people who would ask me about it, and people had a hard time talking about it. They didn't know what to say.
You being sick, you mean?
Yeah. Because several said that, like, say I'm not sure what to say, and they ask some questions like, "You okay talking about it?" I go, "Yes," because that was therapeutic for me to talk about it. The more I talked about it, people would respond. I go, "It's pretty interesting," and I just decided to do a podcast. And again, the main reason was to, again, my options were not good as far as the life expectancy of this thing. And I wanted to have something for my children, my wife, then just friends to remember by. And the first few were pretty a little depressing. I had people go, so much it started making me cry. I think you didn't want to watch it.
Yeah,
Right.
A couple of the first ones, I said we went for a walk, and I was like, yeah, it was it hit you right in the
Heavy.
heart. It was
Right.
yeah, it was tough. But you know what? In response to your, the people, Tom Lawrence said something last week that was spot on, and it's happened to me. I can't tell you how many times, and that was when I run into people who know us from years past or whatever. They always ask you about you. They have not reached out to you, but it's not to say you're not in their thoughts and prayers, and that they're not constantly. And doing these has been a great way for you not only to share your experience, but and it's wonderful that as you said, almost therapeutic for you and things, but it kept a lot of people updated as to what you were going through without, and not, and being that not knowing space. That a lot of people just, how's he doing? What's his days? How are his days like? I watched a couple of his iPods, his podcast rather, and just really taking a lot out of it.
That's actually really nice to hear from you and from Tom and a few others that people care enough to ask, because it gets pretty lonely when you're feeling that bad. And I frankly didn't want to talk to him. Just hold up, in bed half the day. And again, when the depression, anxiety was kicking in. But then again, once I found meditation, I could get through difficult times. And even now, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, boy, what if things go sideways again? And this disease, progresses, because that was my thought. I've been up till recently that it was progressing, started to progress pretty quickly. And I've seen videos. I tried to stop watching anything on MSA because it's bad. Where people get to the end point where they just can't move. Literally, they can't speak. They get, the swallowing's hard, and those things were happening to me. It was hard to speech and the shaking and the swallowing, and it's terrifying. But now it's almost I feel like I'm going the other direction. That I'm now beating it, and I believe that. And meditation has helped me believe that. I got a long way to go.
Can I ask a question, dive a little deeper if I may?
Yes.
Tell me how similar is meditation to perhaps prayer?
Great question. I think there's a lot of similarities. It's hard to describe. It's so deep. I think I've become a little more spiritual as a result of it.
As a result of being sick, or as a result of meditating?
Meditation. And I was actually telling someone this the other day that I learned through meditation, when you've seen Dr. Joe talk about it with other people who've been sick, and say, what if the worst thing that's ever happened to you could make the best thing that's ever happened to you? And it finally dawned on me, where I started looking at this once I got better. Now I totally believe it, that if I wasn't given this diagnosis and have this, my life would have went probably not the best direction. And I wouldn't be feeling this way and doing these things like I am now. So I can look at it as a gift and say, this is now, I feel wonderful. I want to live a long life, and I believe that. And I know I can get through. But again, it's the meditation has done that. And there's again, to answer the question, I think that there's a lot of similarities. And I've definitely prayed more. I would say. So it's been quite interesting. I'm going to try and go to, and now I feel like I want to go to another event, because he does them all over the world. I mean, it's really amazing.
Is your passport up to date?
What he's done, yes.
Good.
It is, because we were supposed to go to Spain last year. Didn't make it, but It's definitely, and that's the thing I want to travel more too. Now if I can move, you know, I was in Florida in January, and that was difficult. Getting around and moving around down there, and the
Because you kept bumping into everyone else's wheelchairs because it's Florida.
yeah, no kidding.
What's the thing about Naples, right? The old line. You think you're rich or you think you're old. Go to Naples and you'll find out that you're neither.
Yeah, it's I love being down there, and I actually thought it was going to be, you know, I have a hard time walking now as it is. And if there's snow or ice outside, I forget it. I can't go outside. It's terrifying. And so I figured I'll spend the whole winter in
Sunny Florida.
Florida, because I can't deal with this. And now it's been a nice winter because it's not been a snow and ice, but I'm moving better now, physically. Even with I got the walker, but I'm tooling around like, and even when I had somebody pick me up, I haven't driven yet. It's kind of nice having other people drive, but
You sit in the back or the front?
I usually sit in the front, and this thing folds up, and they put that in the back seat. But now it's kind of like I got it down, and buddy of mine from college was in town. He picked me up. He was only a few hours. He helped me get. I need help to get downstairs, and then he put the walker, pulled it in, went out, had some wings and food and drinks, and then he had to leave Mara, pick me up. I've got the system down, and it's pretty easy now, which you guys will see, because I think we'll get ready for now. I know we're going to try and go somewhere.
Yeah, we'll let you drive. It's Sean's car. He doesn't care if you scratch it.
Yeah,
It's insured.
No, he's okay.
company car.
Sit on the back and get out. It's just I want to get out so much and do things. I want to come out to Arizona.
I was just gonna say, you know, Arizona, it's still a 3-hour flight ish.
Yeah, it's well, now that I can move like this, you know, getting on an airplane is not difficult. The last time I went on one, it was not pretty. Having to get me back and stick me on one of those. It's called an aisle wheelchair, and they're wheeling me through it. Like all locked up, strapped me in.
Straight jacket.
Yeah, so it was like that. Seriously, but I couldn't. There's no way I could have made it back in there, and now I'm walking. I mean, I can. It's not great, but I can do it, and especially if I'm holding someone's arm. You know, I can walk down the aisle and get in a plane. So now I'm going to be I'm traveling. I want to go places, and I can't wait to do it. Pretty exciting. So probably get close to ending this one, but unless you guys any more stories you want or anything, any last words?
Well, there's a million. You know, we're just kind of going with the direction of the conversation. We all share periodically. One thing neat about social media is you get little blips of birthdays and anniversaries. You know, you talked about kids, and all of us. Michael, you still have high school kids, don't you?
Yes. Yeah. I have a junior in high school and freshman in high school.
Wow, freshman.
Late starter.
Yeah.
Where they at?
Yeah.
I have my oldest Tim is a freshman at Ohio State, and then Kevin's a junior at Ignatius, and Kathleen's a freshman at Magnificat.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Sandy, you're a grandparent already, aren't you?
No,
He just looks like one.
I'm not.
Well, I know Sean was. Sean was an early starter because he got married at 18 years old, or at least in a.
Is Madison about to turn 30 or 30?
She's 27. Oh my gosh.
You sure that's right?
She's good, yeah. She's gonna be 28.
I think
This I can't even
you guys came to our house
believe
with
it.
her in a carrier. And I think it was the first time she'd been out of the house since she was born. So
Wow.
we've been in our house 30 years. That made me think that was when we recently moved in, but I guess not. All right.
Yeah, I can't believe that she's gonna be 28. She's coming in next month.
Well,
Visit.
my oldest daughter Sophia was friends with Xander. They were toddlers together
Oh,
for a
that's
couple
right.
years.
They used to play together all the time.
Yeah, because we had the same friends, babysitters that you guys had were friends with our babysitters, so they'd have play dates. Sophia is now the head vet tech at Mesa Veterinary Hospital, which is a big hospital out here. She's like a zookeeper. And Michael, to your point, my youngest is a senior at Grand Canyon University. I am proud of him because he's made, unlike he's made the dean's list pretty much every semester, other than I think
You made some other lists, Cecil. It may not have been.
I was on
list,
some
but-
lists, just not the dean's list. But I'll tell you I'm excited for him because he just got this internship with the Arizona Rattlers. It's a professional indoor football team. They're the IFL. It's kind of a neat gig. He's doing player evaluations. It's kind of like the Moneyball thing where he's like situation. So it's a trip though, seeing your kids almost grown.
Turn into adults, right?
Yeah.
Do you still do the computer thing, Cease? Last time
Oh,
I heard
dude,
didn't he break into the Pentagon or something?
Yeah, something like that.
War games.
Quick, when he was in high school, he crashed the entire school system's
Right, I remember that story.
internet system because he was trying to hack a bank in Dubai. And I was like, dude, what did you do? And he's like, Dad, I wasn't trying to actually do it. I just wanted to see if I could. And and of course, that was one of the many times the principal had to call us in to meet with the administration. But they thought that was funny. But that's that. Sandy, how old's your youngest?
Isabel is 22.
All right.
She's got 1 year left of she's in the 5-year plan at Miami.
5 years. She's going fast. All right then.
I'd still be in school if I could. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Sean, what was yours, Sean? The 7
We
year?
need to talk about that. Really?
We might as well.
I got out.
It was
I
a good
agree.
segue.
You
Michael.
opened the door.
Yeah.
You opened the
Maybe
door.
7-ish.
8 year.
Plus.
That's
It wasn't 8.
that's right.
5-year plan for Isabel. All right, nice.
A lot of people take
Jeez.
8 years to get through a history degree.
I don't even know what your.
Do they call them
Everybody has
doctors?
3 mortgages these days, Michael.
Right.
I'm not even sure what her degree's going to be in, but she's finally studying. She kind of. It's hard for me to get angry with her because I was on a very similar course where I was out having fun a lot in college, not going to class very much, and then I finally started doing well. It's a lot more difficult to get your grade point average up than it is for it to go down. Well, not that it's hard to, but she's finally getting her active, getting straight A's, which is cool. So
Wow.
I'm sure she's going to be doing fine. Sanders, it's hard to even Chicago. 24. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, he's in Chicago. Single, 24, living in Lincoln Park.
That doesn't sound fun.
That used to be your
No,
life too,
that
wasn't
sounds
it? At one
terrible.
point, right?
We wouldn't
Right
like that,
there.
Cease.
Yeah.
Mary Beth and I lived right near there back when I was at the same age. But he's actually got a job. I was just,
He's got a job and a degree.
yeah, and Mary Beth had a job. I did not. I was looking for one, and then I started waiting tables, and it was actually making pretty good cash. But the problem is that then we all go out
Sat down
afterwards,
after work
and then we go out afterwards and spend it all, and it didn't work out so well for me. But we,
you learned something. That's the important
Yes,
part.
we certainly have matured over the years, Sandy.
now
Really? I'm not sure. No, don't use that.
A lot
term,
of
Michael.
growth.
I have
About a
not.
girl.
I would say I'm still, I think, 17 mentally. Physically,
Marcy
feel
and I,
90.
one of the things we laugh about is our wedding reception. I don't know if I ever told you this story, but so we're real close to being 36. What was I, 35 when I got married? And we're at
How old was Marcy?
21.
She was 26.
Yeah. 18. Sorry.
So we're at our reception at White Oaks. I'm sorry, Avon Oaks. And it was around 10 o'clock. And the supervisor, the manager who we, set it all up with and stuff, he was there. He asked to speak to us. So he pulls Marcy and I out in the hallway. And he says to us, your guests are beginning to become very drunk, very inebriated. And he says to us,
An Irish Catholic wedding?
Oh, he
This
said,
doesn't
I'm
sound
giving
right.
very serious thought to shutting down the bar. Right? And I'm like, oh, dear God, it's only 10 o'clock. You think they're behaving drunk now? Wait, don't do that. Wait till you see. And he's like, well, you need to get your guests, to settle down a little bit. Things are getting out of control. And as he's talking, I can see over his shoulder, Sandy starts to take his hands and put them down here. And in my mind, as I'm listening to the guy talk, I'm like, oh, God, no. Oh, no, Sandy. No, not now. Not now. So sure enough, and I'm looking at him going, he's going to turn right around. And Sandy drops his pants, puts his arms up in the air like a 4-year-old waiting to be picked up, right? And the guy turns right around and sees Sandy and then looks at me like, this is exactly. And I said, now, wait a minute. In fairness, that guy does that all the time. That does
Not unusual behavior.
That does not mean he's
Not even drunk.
I've seen him do it in church.
Michael, that's perfect. I don't even know that guy. How did he get in here? I blame the
So-
management for letting people walk in off the streets.
And he's standing there with his arms still up. And I said, I'm going to go talk to him. I'll take care of this, handle this. So I went up and gave you a huge hug. And I have my arms around the back of your head. And with this, you throw your arms down and begin grinding your hands into my backside. And after 10 minutes of that, and me laughing my hands up in your ear, I walk back to the guy and go, I know I'm here with Marcy, but God, I love that man. And
Wow.
he just started giggling. He's like, get the hell out of here.
Oh.
So it was,
At least
we joke and we refer to it at the time, Sandy almost shut our reception down.
wow.
So let me
I-
just add on to that.
I don't recall that, but that.
We had a Christmas party at our house one time,
Holy
and
shit.
it's maybe there'd been 100 people in the house at one point, but now it's maybe 2 a.m. and it's down to 6 or 8 of us. And there's one guy, sort of a group of people we all know, and this one guy who Laura and I knew that was not someone that you knew. And we're just talking and telling stories and having fun. And I said, we're laughing. I said something. I said, well, this guy doesn't even know you over here, Sandy. So Sandy walks over, pulls down the back of his pants, smacks himself on his own ass, and says, how do you like me now?
Oh, jeez.
And this guy's just sitting in his chair like this.
It's fun.
So there.
Wow, that's another one I don't remember.
We'll
All
stop
fun.
with Sandy taking his pants down.
All
It
fun
too?
stories.
I did that a lot. Unfortunately, I had a lot of belt issues with.
Belt issues, gravity.
Yeah, just.
Well, let me go
Good
take this
stories.
back to your wife, Mary Beth. So one time we're at your house in Sunset, and it's late. You and Mary Beth are there, and you're doing something not unlike what we've just described you doing. And Mary Beth is standing there, and she's got a big grin on her face, and all I can think is she couldn't be prouder of you. And I thought, man, this guy married the right woman. Holy cow! Somebody might be bothered by that. Not one stitch. Mary Beth was bothered. She loved it. She was so proud of him, as she should be. So.
She would. She did a lot. There was a lot of nights where she. That.
What,
you-
different
you didn't-
attitudes?
Yeah, you didn't see what happened, but she's fun.
Even Mother Teresa probably got angry every once in a while.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
One of the things that we've all, especially the three of us who have been around for so long, when we get together and we talk about all the fun stories and all the laughing, and God, we've just spent so many years laughing together. But one of the things I've always thought about Mary Beth is she knows Sandy, and then a lot of us who have been around as long as Mary Beth, as much fun as you are, one of the things we love the most about you, Sandy, is you have a huge heart. And anybody who's spent any amount of time with you, you have a wonderful way of showing it. And it's always been one of your strongest, greatest characteristics that I've always had tremendous affection for over the years. And as fun as you are, and God knows we could tell those stories till for the next 4 weeks. But you're just a wonderful, the heart you'd always come to, your relationships with not only your great friends and stuff, but your family and, being a dad and being a husband and everything else.
I would echo that, Michael. And that's when whether I'm watching these podcasts and seeing some of the friends, all the women from Bay Village from grade school and everything else, and anyone when they talk about you or people that have come to me and asked how you're doing, heart is the word that comes up every single time.
It always
you and
ends
your
with
big heart, sweetheart, and wonderful guy. So
that means
no one ever says you're on time,
you're
but
gonna make me cry.
big heart, man, big heart.
I'm usually late,
heart.
and I wear out my welcome a lot. But I appreciate you saying that, because I really have tried a lot to. I want to be
You're a lover.
the life of the party, and I want to, There's been some people where I get too affectionate. I like smacking asses and
Yours or other people's?
I
give
know
a
my
big
wife
hug
loves
and-
to Sandy.
occasionally some people,
Marcy were here. She
Uh,
tell.
a few strangers I've been a little too affectionate where I'll give a big hug and I'll just lick their face.
Right? Oh, we forgot about the face licking.
We haven't even touched on
Just
that.
around the
just
corner
to
one
get
time
their
being something
response.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that a few times. That gets people's attention and scares them off a lot.
I have no idea why.
But it is meant with some people have done it because they're if they're kind of a dick, I'll just do something like that to really push them away. But for the most part, everyone, it is genuine. The heart feeling, the heart, the caring, the sincerity is there. For anyone else who I have not been that with, or you thought something different, I apologize, but it truly is there, and that means a lot to hear that from you guys who've known me for
Ever.
a long time.
Yeah, all the girls who have known you for as long as we have, every one of them, whenever they talk about you, they always say, God, I love him.
Not just the girls.
I love him. Yeah, most guys do too.
Right.
I shouldn't say it. But yeah, you have a wonderful heart.
You make me feel pretty good. Well, now I want to keep sharing that as much as I can, and that's the interesting part about podcasts now, because now it's gone from just doing something to remember people to then becoming therapeutic, helping me, and then it became different because the response I'm getting from other people who are saying that you're inspiring me, what you're going through, and that meant the world to me. And so many people I haven't again spoken to
Yeah, you shared some of that.
in a long time,
Yeah.
reaching back out, and others just reaching out, just strangers say, I saw something about this side, send you a message. I'm like, that's so cool. So it's sort of developed from that, and now it's like, well, I want to shout from the mountains that I feel I'm beating this, and I'm going to keep fighting, doing what I'm doing. But again, there's still that fear in the back of the head of if something. That's why I'm trying to calm myself down, because if I do too much, and falling is always been the biggest issue is falling and hurting myself. I've fallen a lot the past year just from losing my balance. Now, unfortunately, a couple times that was my own fault because there was some alcohol involved. But I for once in my life now, I think I can. I've learned this word called moderation. I had to look it
Hold
up.
on, I'm getting on Google.
Yeah,
Please Google that.
because it's hard enough for me to walk as it is, and then I'm walking that fine line now where I know when to say time to go to bed. When throughout my life, most times that didn't happen until probably 6 a.m. But when there were so many fun nights we spent
Old One More is dead. Is that what you're saying?
with you guys. I don't know. I know he's dead. He's still back there. He wants to come out, but I gotta keep him.
That was enough. I don't need one more. That last one was good. Plenty.
There, actually, I guess I've been able to keep him at bay, but there have been a few nights where he comes back out.
Happened.
Gotta let the dog run. Gotta let the dog run.
But then when that happens, it literally takes me 2 or 3 days to
Recover.
because I'm literally in bed and can't get out of bed. But it's happened a few times, but on special occasions, just it happens here and there, and so. But for the most part, I keep it at bay. But I'm going to continue to do that, but I just want to get out and live. I feel like haven't seen people, I haven't been able to talk to people, and now I want to get out and share how I'm doing, and
Let's go share the love and have some wings.
let's do that.
It is Thursday,
That's right.
That's right.
but now wings are $1 a piece instead of 10
Around the
cents.
corner, Party Palace.
That,
I got
That,
it.
that was always wing night. But I want to just thank you guys sincerely for coming on. Thought, the stories are great, and for the kind words you said to me, because it's very meaningful. And again, doing each of these episodes, it's building my confidence that I'm going in the right direction. And so I'm real excited to keep that going. And glad you guys could come on. I really appreciate it. Now we're gonna go venture out.
Okay,
All
let's
right.
do it.
Sounds
We're
good.
going, but we'll figure it
Good,
out.
good to see everybody. God bless you, Sandy.
Wish you were here. Sis.
Thanks, guys.
Good to see you, Steve.
Appreciate it.
I'll let you know when I'm heading back to Cleveland. Luckily, my mom, who's still with us at 87, she was able to come out and see me late this fall, and we had beautiful weather for her. So, but usually we come out in the spring and the fall. So
That's all. You've mentioned when you were coming in a couple times, but throughout this past year I couldn't make it.
oh no, and I know that, Sandy.
But
Don't
now,
worry.
please,
Absolutely.
and we'll all get together and look forward to it.
Right on.
Cool.
All right, fellas.
All right,
Good to
thank
see
you,
everybody.
guys. Take care.
Bye, man.